Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at ToneStack by Yonac, and I am going to build a rock organ patch inspired by the legendary John Lord. I'm going to start with this super basic sound here from King B, Yonac's latest organ. So super basic patch, no rotary action at all, nothing. Just super basic, right? And I'm going to close that now because we don't need it anymore and go into insert effects here. I have a limiter on here. I'm going to engage ToneStack here so we can see it. Open it up full screen. And the first thing I'm going to do is open this up here and hit init. This will empty ToneStack completely of anything. Now, the first thing I want to add in is a treble booster. So I'm going to go to units here and go into distortion and go down. Now, I must say that this is the full motherload version, and I think that's around $79.99. But honestly, it's well worth it. You get over, I think it's something bonkers, like 280 different cabs, effects, amps, stuff like that. So it's insane what you get. I'm going to scroll down here till I find my, there it is, what I want, my Austin SynthMaster. And let's just switch this on here. And straight away, we've given it a nice boost. We have gain on here. Boost. So the next thing, now, funnily enough, I did something very, very similar to what I'm going to build today about 8 years ago. But I didn't show how I put it all together. It was all just made and everything, and I didn't really tweak any settings. So today we're going to have a good tweak with the sounds. And you can see this way how it's all constructed. Now, of course, there are no hard and fast rules with making effects chains. It's a personal thing. What's really good about ToneStack, and I'll get into this in just a sec, I'm just going to add another effect now. I'm going to go into rotary, and where is rotary? Here it is, rotary, and I'm going to add an octavibe. So now we have this. I'm going to mess around with this. I think that might be better. We've still got control over our volume with our boost here on our treble booster. So what I had next, I've got a list here of my effects chain sort of thing. So I'm adding next in a poly mod. So we can find that in pitch modulation. And you can see all the different things you get. I love just building effects chains. It's so much fun. Okay, so I would say if you just want a bunch of the most basic effects, ToneStack is just absolutely brilliant. So here we have a poly oct. I'm going to switch it off for now. Actually, if I turn it on, it's... But I'm going to make some adjustments. There's some things I don't want in here. That's my dry mix here. So we're going to turn that off now because this is going to be part of the kind of soloing vibe thing. So the next thing I am going to go back into rotary and add in, find it here, add in a rotary box. Now this is kind of like a Leslie. And we can hear what's going on here. So let's give that a bit of a boost. Now you can play around with the sounds and stuff, but to be fair, well, actually that's quite nice. Now, the next thing I'm going to add in a distortion unit, and I've got down here that I added in. Now, originally, I added in a, if I can find a classic distortion, this one here. Which I still like the sound of. I'm just going to disable this, and I'm going to add in another distortion instead. So I might just leave that in there, and we can do a kind of comparison thing. This is what's brilliant. We can just turn stuff on and off and thingy. So I was playing around with all these distortions yesterday to see which one kind of worked any better than the one I originally had, and this one here, the bass muffin pie, I really liked that tone. So on the initial settings, we got this, and then that. I quite like that. I'm going to turn the tone down though. So I'll switch it off for now. So I kind of like that. I don't know if I like it better than the classic distortion. Or just for the different vibe, you know. I think it does sound really nice, and it's kind of designed for bass. So next along, let's see what I've got here now. Oh yeah, I'm going to add an amp. So go into amps, and I played with quite a few of these. They're all good, but they all do different things. I'm going to look for the dual verb one, which I really like, and it's the one I used in the original video. I know it's down here somewhere. Look at all these amps. Oh, there we go. The 64 dual verb, right? So it has some spring reverb on it that suitably drips, but I'm going to turn that right down. There. And boost the bass back up. I think that sounds really nice. Now we've got a gain now. So we have 2 channels as well. I'm going to leave it on now. Round about there, just for a bit of crunch. And we've got a volume at the end, which is nice, so we can control our volume via this now. And maybe go back to the beginning of the chain and add some of our treble booster back in. So let's go back to our amp. Okay. Now, originally, after the amp, I put an EQ. I put the guitar EQ, but I then decided to put this at the end of the chain for this newer version. And the original idea for this, I got this because I read an interview with John Lord, and he said he kind of totally disregarded the Leslie and put the Hammond through guitar cabs. But the luxury we have now, of course, is that we can have our Hammond simulation in here anyway. So now from we've already got quite a nice sound for our organ. So I'm going to ignore the EQ for a moment, and instead I'm going to add in a cab. So I can't remember the original cab I had. Let me just have a look. Let's go to cabinets, because we have to have it go through a cabinet, right? I think it was it may have been this one. I did watch the video, but I can't remember. Was it? I'll see it. I'll know it if I see it. But I found another one that I quite like. I like better down here. So let me see. Yeah, I think that was the original, the Brownswood 4x12. So if I add that in, and I definitely had it on this kind of 57. We can move our mic around. But yeah, originally I had this amp and I had the 57, but now I think that sounds too harsh. I'm going to switch this off. I'm going to leave it on that anyway. But so to remove any of the effects or amps or cabs or anything in the chain, you literally just pick them up here and just move them out the way. To reorder anything, say for instance we wanted our muffin pie in front of our distortion here, you just pick it up and you just move it like that, or you just move it back like this. Doesn't matter. I mean, at the moment they're both switched off, so it won't make any difference. So these will work like true bypass, so you're not going to get any effect. So I chose in the amp section here, I went for, in the end yesterday when I was playing around with this, I thought this sounded really nice. In my cabinet section here, I'll know as soon as I see it. There it is, the Bohr 4x12. So now I'm just going to put this back in front of there. And so it sounds really nice with this. Now, before I go any further, there is another trick we can do. There is on here, you might see, if you switch these on, it's stereo. But you're not going to hear a lot because we'll need to make this stereo as well. That just adds a little bit of width, which is nice. So the next thing along, I'm going to highlight this. So whichever, if say for example, you wanted to add an effect in between your rotary box and your distortion, select rotary box and then choose the effect you want. So I'm going to add in a plate reverb, but I'm going to add it in after the cab. And I'll tell you what my thinking. In fact, after the cab. So I'm going to choose this and choose reverb here, and I am going to still use what I originally used, which was the most epic plate reverb here. So now, and the idea here was that if you were sitting in the audience in a hall, you would hear the reverb of the hall after the sound comes out the PA. And like I said, if it was sound checking, I said this in the original video, if you were sound checking your front of house engineer, he would hear much more reverb if the hall was empty. So for example, and we could kind of make the plate bigger, less damping. And it's a really beautiful reverb, this is. But as more people came into the hall, was my thinking was that people would absorb more of the reverb, so you can kind of dial this back. Add some more dampening. You can play around with all EQs and stuff as well. You can cut some lows. I think that sounds really good. But I'm having a, let's take the stereo off this a sec, because I don't know if it really needs to be. I think that sounds better. And then originally I added in like I'll show you what I added in. It was like a space echo. Make sure our reverb is selected. We can add it after that. Delay and reverb. Look at all these delays and reverbs you get. So originally I stuck in if I can find it here, a cosmic echo, this one here. If for nothing, for just a kind of, in fact I had it on 2 heads and I definitely had less feedback and probably this, but I had quite a lot of flutter on it. It basically was just a add some reflection stuff in. But if I power that off, it's nice. It adds a thing. However, I was also playing around with some of the other delays and stuff. So I then went down here and I thought I would try the memory guys. So this is really nice. Again, too fast. It was too kind of so it's all about the little details. And then at the end, which I didn't add, we could put in a dynamic, and just stick in a studio compressor. I'm just going to drag this. Just to control the volume. The end result after all this stuff goes out. But now, of course, we've got some extra stuff we can play around with that I put in. So if we scroll on back here to our Muffin Pie, let's try this as a solo thing now. The chain is kind of complete. So now this isn't going to work great with chords, but you could play fifths like power chords. And that reverb is a little bit too much, so I am going to dial it. It's better. And also kind of blend, take the blend. Okay, so that sounds, I think that sounds nice. However, swapping over to the, so we know. That's miles too harsh now. So this is much, much better. I think, I mean, you know, it's personal taste, but. Now, the cool thing is now, adding in the polyoct, and really you only want to use this for soloing, but just makes that's just epic. You do have, I mean, you could say like adding upper harmonics and just adding that upper octave. And then we could chuck in the rotary, switch off the muffin pie. So there you go. There is my kind of classic rock organ patch. And you can, I mean, I'm never going to use that in that, so I'm just going to drop that out. It's unnecessary. But I might like to swap between the memory guy and the cosmic echo. So. I was going to say at the beginning as well, one of the cool things about ToneStack, of course, is you can save all these presets. We could, if I go to init now and go, where is it? I'm just going to save this as TSTR rock organ 2, because I've already done one. So when I was testing this stuff out, there it was, which is similar, you see. But I kind of, with this one, turn that. I like this a lot. I like this one better. I like the settings better that I've got as well. Of course, you can go and say, well, let's play around with the Optivibe. But I just think that adds just... So I think both the chorus and the vibrato settings sound quite nice. But I do like it. See how much of a difference the treble booster makes. It's just super. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a Patreon, and I will see you guys later. So there you go. You can copy the patch and you could add to it. You know, you could add more choruses, phases, flanges, delays, distortions, overdrives, whatever you like. I'll put a link in as well for ToneStack in the description. The base app, I think, is $9.99, and you get quite a lot of stuff. You get, I don't know, 30 odd effects and cabs and things. You do get stuff. I just love playing with all the effects. I just think it's great fun. Okay. See you later.